Hey everybody, God bless y'all. Welcome to Pastor Jerone TV. I'm your host, Pastor Jerone. I just did a video the other week about Ayesha Curry and her husband, Stephen Curry. I was talking about Ayesha Curry being around bad people and how evil communications could corrupt good manners. And I was saying that her marriage is probably going to be jeopardized in the future because she wants to be seen as sexy, and she's trying to lure men to lust after her through sex appeal and skimpy dressing, and I was saying that was going to mess up her marriage. I was saying that she was also being around people like Jay-Z and Beyonce, people who have sold their souls over to wickedness and evil for the purpose of prosperity and fame. And I also brought up Will Smith and Jada, his wife, and how, you know, they've had a career. On the outside, their marriage looked happy, but on the inside, it wasn't. You know, people a lot of times put out these facades on social media about how great their lives are, how wonderful their marriages are, and all that kind of stuff. And the more they do that, sometimes it's a tale. It's a tale that they're really not happy. You know, when you're getting ready to go into a relationship or a marriage and all that kind of stuff, please make sure that you're happy. Make sure that you're happy. Never ever let your happiness be based on a person, because that person could die, or something could happen in the marriage and they're gone. All right. When somebody tell me that I wasn't happy until I met you, that's dangerous. I don't like that, because the best thing is for two happy people to come together and they make each other's lives happier. But if your happiness is contingent on me making you happy, well, then that's another job for me. All right. But anyway, Jada, there was a young man by the name of August Alsina. I think I'm saying it right. Alsina. He's a musician. He came out the other week and stated that he had an affair with Jada, Will Smith's wife, and that Will Smith gave him his blessing for it. Right? It's something how a lot of times it's been this way with me through my preaching and through my ministry. A lot of times I would preach on a subject or teach on a subject, and within days or weeks or months or maybe a year or a couple of years, these things will begin to manifest. And so I did a teaching and a video on it. I'll put in the link here, about Ayesha Curry and her husband hanging around Jada and Will Smith and how this could affect their marriage. Well, when that young man, August, admitted to the affair, Jada initially denied it. She lied and said, I didn't have an affair with him. He's lying. Well, it turns out that she sat down with Will today and admitted at her red table that she had the affair. And the pain on Will Smith's face, the pain, you know, that kind of pain, like hit you in your chest, like you got hit in the chest with a truck. It takes your air away. It takes away your pain. I've been there. I know that kind of pain. I know it. I don't cheat. I've never cheated. I was married for almost 18 years. I never cheated. Never cheated. Never came close to cheating. Never even desired it. Never did. But when it happens to you, when the person that you're loving cheats on you, it's very painful. And apparently Jada brought this guy in because he moved into their house. He moved into the Smith's house, and he was hurt. He was mentally hurt. He was physically sick. His sister had died. Some of his family members had died, and he was in a rough place. Apparently, Jada took advantage of that, and they got involved in a relationship. And during that time, her and Will Smith broke up. Will Smith was out of the house or something, I guess. And this was her way of saying that it was okay for her to have this relationship with him because they broke up. Well, Jada, no, because you were married, and the only way that you could have done something like that is if you had the divorce. There was no divorce. So it was wrong. Well, people say Will Smith did his thing too. Well, she never brought it up in that interview. She never brought up what Will did to her. You know, and she had every right to bring it up at that time because he was bringing up the fact that she had an affair with this dude August. So I guess they kept that on the low. But when people get married, I don't understand. If you still have an itch and a desire for different lovers and people, why even do that? Why even get married? It's best to stay single and go out there and do all the stuff that you like to do without having somebody to answer to. But so many people, it's about the game. It's about running the game on the person. That's what gets them off. That's what makes them excited. It's about the deception. It's about putting forth a front and then doing something else. People get it's the thrill of the chase. It's the thrill of the lie. It's like being a spy or something like that. I can just get over on you. They call it running game. But see, people's lives aren't a game. You shouldn't marry somebody to run game because you're dealing with a soul, a life. You're dealing with a person's emotions and all that kind of stuff. And you shouldn't do that. It's very selfish to do that kind of stuff. And it's very destructive. Especially if you have children, you know, now you're bringing that type of destruction on your children. And the home that they once knew and the two parents been together, that's painful for kids to experience that and see that the parents are breaking up. So you put, because of your selfishness, idolatry, the word idol means self. It's a selfish act. I did it based on my lust. I did it because I wanted to. I did it on my own feelings. That's what that's about. Yeah. But I'm going to do a teaching on Hosea in the next couple of days. It's going to be a very little synoptic type of teaching. And it's going to talk about how Hosea was ordered by God to marry a woman who was very promiscuous or a whore. And I talk about that type of love. But there's no greater pain than to have love for a person and to have goodwill towards them and good desires and all the good things that you have planned for them and never get that love reciprocated, you know? And so that's what Hosea had to experience. But we'll talk about that in the next video. All right? God bless y'all. I'll see you on the next one.